you're struggling to 3-star at Town Hall 16 after the Town Hall 17 update, these are the top 5 best attack strategies you need to be using. To kick things off, we're going to be starting with a brand new attack at number 5, the Thrower Smash. This is a pretty simple strategy where we're using the Life Gem and Rage Gem with the Warden, and of course the brand new Thrower. We're going to be starting off with the use of the Grand Warden in order to establish one side of our funnel. He has the Rage Gem equipped, so he's able to very easily and quickly create the funnel on one side. On the other side, we're running the Siege Barrack and the Archer Queen. This is going to establish our other side of the funnel since we have the Magic Mirror and the Healer Puppets, which is going to preserve our HP and create a really solid funnel. We want to make sure that we have a solid funnel set on both sides so we can actually push our way in with our throwers and the rest of our troops, in addition to the Barbarian King. So with both sides of your funnel set, you can send in your throwers. You should also have some supportive troops like balloons to look for any seeking air mines, and of course an ice golem to provide some tanking. In addition, you have your Electro Titans to look for any traps and also deal with enemy CC troops, while then also having the throwers start moving in. The most important thing here in terms of the throwers is you want to take advantage of their range. So pathing is incredibly important for them. Using an early rage to power them up, along with a jump spell to get your king deeper, and of course using the spiky ball and earthquake boots from the Barbarian King to clear lots of value. Other than this, you're really going to be taking advantage of the thrower's range, and under the life gem and the rage gem, they can do damage and of course stay alive for quite some time. Other spells like freeze should be used on key defenses like the town hall, and using rage spells periodically towards the back end can really help. Invisibilities also work pretty well since the troop has a ton of range which you can easily take advantage of. Other than this, you've got your back end royal champion to help clear through some remaining defenses, especially in thanks to her rocket spear, and otherwise your throwers will be able to clear through the rest of the base. They might be pretty slow, but they can do a ton of damage if you set them up properly. Just make sure though that if the town hall still remains standing that you have the throwers capable of removing it, otherwise you might end up failing. But other than this, just make sure you have some form of cleanup since these troops are really slow, and you should be able to get 3-star. At number 4, we have the Titan Smash. This strategy won Synchronic the World Finals and is also a relatively easy and simple ground army. Overall, we're going to be starting this attack by funneling, and the easiest way to do this is by using a super wall breaker with the golem and the queen with the angry jelly in order to funnel one side of the base. This allows us to use the siege barrack on the other. This establishes two sides of our funnel, and you don't really need to hit from two different corners. If you can be able to create a funnel on two different sides of the base, this kind of sets you up really well. With the queen and her magic mirrors, I tend to use a rage spell as it powers up all of that damage, which makes it really easy to be able to set a solid funnel. Pretty much after this point, you've been able to clear a large area or at least somewhat of a funnel on both sides, which is going to basically allow you to push your Electro Titans and the rest of your heroes into the base. Now, since you've been able to clear both sides of your funnel, you've got your Electro Titans and your Barbarian King with the Apprentice Warden and the Grand Warden to start working in. Of course, the most important thing about this is you want to try and get to the Town Hall as quickly as possible. This allows you to deal with the enemy CC. You can use a rage spell, the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome, and even the Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots in order to clear a large open area. This also lets you open up other areas of the base and actually will let you use other spells like the free spells over things like the Ricochet Cannon, multi-archer towers, especially if they're under rage, and this kind of is going to be able to continue to push your way through the entire thing. Now, you've also got the yak on the Warden just in case the yak survives throughout the attack, where it's going to be able to open up walls without needing to worry about using a jump spell or anything else. Otherwise, this is really going to allow you to push through a large chunk of the base, where you have the Royal Champion on the back end with her Hog Puppet and the Rocket Spears, but you can also run the Seeking Shield with the Rocket Spear in order to get plenty of great value. Just make sure that you have some form of cleanup like the Super Barbarians. This is going to help you clear through the rest of the base, and you don't really need to worry too much. Just make sure though that the Town Hall goes down earlier so you can take full advantage of this attack strategy. At number 3, we have to include the Hydra attack. This is a super simple and very easy strategy. We're going to be starting this off with our Archer Queen, where she's going to be running the giant arrow to snipe off 1 or 2 air defenses. If you can get any sweepers, that's even better, but for the most part, you want to clear out some air defenses and then use her to set up one side of your funnel with a short queen walk with her healer puppets. On the other side, we're running the Barbarian King in order to establish the other side of our funnel. He's going to be using the traditional Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boot combo in order to clear plenty of defenses while also being able to set a funnel for our dragons, where we're going to be sending them right the way in with the use of the balloons, the dragon riders, the warden, and of course the minion prince. Overall, we're using a blimp. We're going to delay that in order to make sure that we're able to use the Eternal Tome and Healing Tome to get the blimp deep enough, using the clones and a rage to clear through the town hall compartment and get so much value out of that is what is ideal. The Minion Prince with his ability is able to basically freeze up and slow down a ton of defenses, which really helps this attack. Other spells like your free spells should be used over key defenses like the scatter shots, any leftover air defenses, inferno towers, even air sweepers, and even of course the monolith. Other than that, you're gonna basically be able to steamroll through a lot of bases, and you will be able to have a ton of troops survive as long as you're able to get great value from the clone spells, but you're also able to get great value from the free spells and all the funneling, and of course you'll have more than enough troops, including the Minion Prince, to help you clean up for a solid 3-star. At number 2, we have to include the Super Witch Smash. This is still fantastic, especially with the Fireball. Of course, we want to start off with the Warden Walk in order to establish a part of our funnel, but also setting us up with the Fireball, where we're going to be using 3 invisibility spells over a group of defenses in order to land it on top of the Eagle Artillery in this case, to remove it with 2 Earthquake spells, and that's able to create a solid funnel for us. So what we're going to do on the other side is we're going to run the Siege Barrack. This is going to allow us to set up the other side of our funnel, which makes things a lot easier, and that way we can also have our Archer Queen lure over our Grand Warden, clear out some other buildings to expand the funnel, and be able to move in with our Super Witches. So now that you have both sides of your funnel set, you're going to be sending in your Super Witches. We've got an Ice Golem to provide a little bit of tanking, balloons to look for any Seeking Air Mines, and of course, we have our Barbarian King with the Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots for the core. The idea here is to use a jump spell to get a little bit deeper into the base early on, so that way we don't have to use the Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots too early, but we also want to make sure that we're getting plenty of value from this. This way we can use that ability combo to get plenty of damage out, dealing with a ton of defenses, and of course having spells like freeze in order to slow down defenses like the Town Hall and the Monolith. Other than this, you're going to be able to survive through that Town Hall poison with absolutely no problems, which is going to allow you to clear through the core. So pretty much you should have the back end Royal Champion moving at this point in order to basically keep everything alive in the base, in the core, and that way you can also clear out back-end defenses while in the process of your Super Witches just doing a ton of damage. Otherwise, you just want to make sure that you're using your free spells sparingly around the base in order to get plenty of great value and prevent any damage on any of your troops. And otherwise, you should be able to 3-star, especially when you have the Rocket Spear from your Royal Champion. Otherwise, you have minions to help you clean up the trash buildings around the base. For the most part, you should be able to easily 3-star with this as long as you had a good setup. And of course, the best attack strategy for Town Hall 16 has to be the Fireball rocket balloons. This is a dominant strategy as long as you know exactly what to do. So to break this down, we're going to be starting with the Grand Warden Walk. We have the Angry Jelly equipped because we're trying to go in for as many defenses as possible and also to get him in a pretty solid position. So we're going to pretty much let him go. If he's dealing with an enemy hero, we use a rage spell in order to power him through so we can clear through quite a bit. And otherwise, we just want to make sure that we are clearing as many defenses as possible. This is going to set our fireball up beautifully, as this lets us get a little bit more value off of the fireball than using the invisibility and fireball first. We want to make sure that we're clearing as many of these defenses as possible, which then allows us to use multiple invisibility spells around the base, maybe 4 in this case, in order to use the fireball over something like the Clan Castle, the Eagle Artillery, and maybe even removing a spell tower like the invisibility spell tower. This really sets our attack up beautifully for the heroes to move around. But to focus on the Warden a little bit more, we're going to let him walk for quite a while. He's basically going to be able to clear one side of the base. This is going to pretty much allow us to focus more on our King and Queen and Royal Champion, as the Warden, underneath any rage spells that you might have, will be able to keep himself moving along, clearing through the Town Hall and any other remaining defenses. So moving over to our Barbarian King and Archer Queen, we want to use them together in order to get some great value. Having pretty much any spells like the freeze spells to provide a little bit of support while we're dealing with enemy heroes or other defenses is really important. We do want to use the Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots to get plenty of great value from our king while he's moving around in order to get great value from it. We also have the Battle Blimp that we can use with a Yeti Blimp in order to remove an entire compartment. This is also by the help of using a rage spell, which can get us great value. Other than that, we've got the Royal Champion to help clear through any remaining defenses, while also having the rocket balloons to snipe off any other remaining structures. And overall, this attack strategy is absolutely overkill, with the rocket balloons to help clean up, the Royal Champion with the rocket spear, and of course the Warden and all your heroes to just power through. There is a reason to why this is the best strategy right now. Now, all these attack strategies are incredibly good, and I really do want to bring guides for some of these strategies in the future. But of course, if you are struggling with Hydra and you actually want to 3-star with it, I have a guide right here that you should probably check out.